Hi, everybody. It's Joe Cioffi here on this Friday, May the 4th, 2018, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. I just wanted to jump on early today, and we'll also do a live stream later this evening. Probably it will be after 7 o'clock because of the potential for some severe weather. It might cause me to have to do a little bit later than usual. So just pay attention to the time post. I'll pre-schedule it as soon as I have a good idea, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be after 7 o'clock. If you look at the current regional radar down below, and then you have the Storm Prediction Center's forecast over here to my left, you are seeing what has now been increased in terms of the severe weather risk across upstate New York and in through northern Vermont. The Storm Prediction Center now showing an enhanced risk for severe weather, with slight risk extending south from there into the Hudson Valley and northern New Jersey, just about all of Pennsylvania, and then sort of a narrow band of marginal risk, and then it goes into a general area of thunderstorms. There's also, by the way, a marginal risk of severe weather that's down in southwest Texas. You see it there. Also, the slight risk back up to the area in the northeast extends back into eastern Ohio and northern parts of West Virginia and northwestern Maryland, and the marginal risk going back to eastern Michigan and eastern Ohio. So one of the things that's happening today, at least from the standpoint of where I am, which is right down near the immediate coast, is that we have a lot of cloud cover here and a south wind. And I think that's going to probably certainly going to put a cap on how high temperatures can get along coastal areas. And we also have some showers that are running out ahead of this. So I'm wondering, kind of out loud, at least from my area, is this going to take away from the daytime heating that we would otherwise get? And I think the answer to that is yes. So that might be the reason why the southern end of that risk of severe weather, the southern end of that line, kind of tapers off fairly quickly. If we don't get the daytime heating down where I am, that's going to really limit, I think, the thunderstorm development. Some of the models are going in that direction. While in upstate New York, the first band of showers moving to the east, probably there's a little more time, and they may see some daytime heating there with the enhanced risk of severe weather. So we'll have to just watch and see how it plays on the radar for this afternoon. By the way, in addition to that, I just want to show you we do have some wind advisories that are up, as it is going to get rather windy across upstate New York. And in the gold area there, looks like a high wind warning up for the southern half of Michigan. Red flag warnings up for Minnesota and most of the Dakotas. And looks like we even have some flash. Trying to see what that dark red is. Is that excessive heat? The colors are just a little bit. The colors that the Weather Service uses sometimes are a little bit too close, and oftentimes I don't always get to see the whole map until we come up on air. So, but something's going on in the Southwest. So why don't I give that a quick check here and get the right advisory or warning that they do have up. And those are, hello, you'll love this. I'm trying to load up the Weather Service page from down there. I mean, I'm looking from the color. This is either an excessive heat watch or a flash flood warning. But unfortunately, now the Weather Service's website has decided to go down. Don't you love it? Okay, you know what? Let's just leave it at that. Let's go. Oh, finally. Okay, that is an excessive heat watch. All right. Now, let's come back to us, and let's look at the what some of the short-range models are doing today. The NAM this morning, at least from the overnight runs, wasn't really too particularly bullish with thunderstorm development here, and that we'll pull up the new NAM model run to see if it's changed very much since the overnight, but it really was kind of underwhelming in terms of what it was showing as far as weather is concerned for this afternoon and evening, as far as thunderstorm development. And there you can see what's going on through upstate New York. It seems to be missing. Seems like the NAM is not really doing well with the showers that are down by my neck of the woods right now. So that kind of tells you something from that respect. And as we go into this evening, you can see there's not a whole lot that the NAM does with this. It does develop a line of storms across upstate New York, a narrow, fast-moving line, but the southern end of that really doesn't do very much. And then going into Saturday, I think will be the better of the 2 weekend days for me. But we've got some moisture and a little bit of a low and an inverted trough down in the east of the Bahamas that's going to be moving westward. And I think that moisture is going to get drawn up the east coast to some degree, although the bulk of it's going to stay offshore. But looking as if we're going to get probably at least some shower activity to deal with in my neck of the woods on Sunday. So definitely thinking that Saturday, the better of the 2 weekend days. And then the front comes through with a shot of pretty cool air for early next week. You can actually see some snow showers being shown over parts of upstate New York for Monday. Believe it or not, we're still, doing stuff like that. The HRRR model, the HRRR was a bit more bullish with thunderstorm development this afternoon. And we'll see. Let's see if the latest runs have changed. It actually had 2 lines of storms. It looks to me like it's handling, at least recognizing what's there now. And I'll have to go back one run because the new run is coming out at the moment and it doesn't go out far enough. But at least as of the run from an hour ago, that first line of storms just kind of peters out. And then you have a more impressive second line moving through, holding together up in the enhanced area, but then that southern edge weakens. So actually the HRRR seems to be trending toward the NAM model's view of, a kind of underwhelming squall line that we're going to see for this afternoon. So again, this was just pretty much a quick update on what is going on in our little weather world. And let me just come back up and just get in the chat with you guys. So just hang on one second here. And there we go. So Jason, yeah, not much sun today either. I went for a 6 mile walk. That's my new routine. Yeah, there were just a lot of clouds, hardly any sun coming through, and actually even had a brief shower. Rowie 39425. Yes, you've got that balloon race update. Okay, so let me just really quickly take a look at that. It looks to me that conditions should be, well, at least as of yesterday, could look like as if conditions should be okay. So I'm just trying to bring up the newest runs of the model. And yeah, I mean, there are some showers that are going to go by up across northern Alabama and in through Tennessee and Kentucky, and actually may get pretty close to Louisville for the Kentucky Derby. If you're telling me for central Alabama southward, I think most of those showers go by to your north. So at least from what I'm seeing at the moment, let me just check. Let me just see what the NAM is doing with this. And I mean, the showers, by the way, are for Saturday. Okay. As far as Sunday is concerned, it's no problem at all. You've got a great day for Sunday, weather-wise. We're going to see. I'm going to see if we got. I just want to look at some of the winds here. Let's see what your 10-meter winds are going to look like. Yeah, it looks like your general winds are going to be basically under 10 or 15 miles an hour or less. So I think you're going to be in very, very good shape. Certainly for Sunday and even for Saturday, much of the shower activity is going to go by to your north. YouTubers saying, check the HRRR. This has been very reliable for severe weather over the Great Plains in recent days. Yeah, I did look at it today. I mean, it was trying to be a little more bullish with the lines down my way. Kind of backed off on that a bit on this run. But I think what I'm going to be doing, at least while I'm getting a handle on all this, is probably using, a blend of the HRRR and the NAM that may work out a bit better. But I think a lot of what is happening is going to hinge on whether we can get some sun to come out this afternoon. And again, I have to tell you, based on what I'm seeing right now, it's not looking too good down my way to get any kind of daytime heating. So a lot of areas, which by the way made low 90s yesterday, made it up to 93 or 4 in and around New York City. I don't think we're going to get there today. If we don't get the sun to come out now, we're just basically going to be running out of time to heat things up. And for sure where I am on central and eastern Long Island, because I've had a south wind all morning with the clouds, so it's been holding in the low to mid 70s. It isn't going anywhere from my neck of the woods. And by the way, let me just mention, I was out at the National Weather Service yesterday, and we were talking about the general lack of thunderstorms and in my area over the last 5 years. And oddly enough, they've been doing some research, and it seems that at least for the eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England area, and including Long Island and New Jersey, that there seems to be some sort of broad general 5-year cycle in terms of thunderstorms, and they tend to ebb and flow from that. And we are at the cycle bottom. So it was this forecaster that I spoke to yesterday, his considered opinion that we're going to see a gradual increase in the amount of thunderstorms over the next several years in my neck of the woods, which would kind of bring us up, to the other side of the cycle. The other thing we talked about that I thought was pretty interesting was the collapse of the Gulf Stream out in the North Atlantic. If you pull up, and I'll try and do this at some point over the next couple of weeks when we get into hurricane season, but I was talking with one of my colleagues today, and he said he was looking at a map of the ocean currents profile across the North Atlantic. And when you follow the Gulf Stream along, as you move up into the North Atlantic and start moving toward Greenland, you can actually see that the Gulf Stream has come to a grinding halt, and the ocean currents start going in all sorts of different directions. And this is going to have serious implications for winters if this continues, and it looks like it's going to be a factor for a while. This is going to probably have impact on the winters in Europe, particularly in Western Europe, Ireland, and England. It may be that what we saw this year was a shot across the bow with this, with the Gulf Stream coming, basically coming to a grinding halt. That winters in Western Europe, England, and Ireland going forward are going to be much colder and more severe than what they have been experiencing in the past 20 or 30 years or so. And as far as the impact on weather here in the United States, particularly in the Northeast, it was this forecaster's considered opinion, and I think it makes a lot of sense that the recent trend of having extended winters into March and April is something that we may have to get used to. If the Gulf Stream collapses, the transfer of heat is going to be slowed, and that could slow the process of the transition from winter to spring in the eastern U.S. and in particular in the northeastern U.S. So some very interesting things to think about and to look ahead to in the long range. I thought that was all pretty fascinating stuff. All right, folks, going to leave it here at this point. Got to hit the road to go to work. But here's what we're going to do. I'm thinking tonight we'll probably live stream after 7 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to try and do my colleague Joe Rayo's on a different schedule today. So we may or may not do a Joe and Joe show on Facebook at 6 o'clock Eastern time. A lot of this is going to be dependent on whether we have any severe weather that's breaking at the time, because that will tie me up from schedule wise. So just check the channel, and I'll try and schedule it as soon as I have a good idea of when I can do this. Also, I just want to make a quick mention of the fact that you can support my channel by using the Amazon link that's on the descriptor for this live stream and on the descriptors for the videos in my video library. You can use the Amazon link there. If you shop on Amazon, I participate in the Amazon Services Associates program. which is an affiliate advertising program, and it's designed to provide a means for channels like mine to earn fees from Amazon by linking to Amazon and their affiliated sites. So I just wanted to let you, put that out on the table. If you shop on Amazon and then you'd like to support my channel, you can do it by shopping through this link, and it doesn't cost you a dime. If you don't want to do it, it's perfectly okay. Just want to have that option out there. And I thank those of you who have used it. I really, really appreciate it very much. All right, folks, we'll see you later. Figure around 7 o'clock Eastern time as we watch to see what severe weather does late this afternoon and this evening across the Northeast.